Okay, good evening, everybody. So I am so excited about this Zoom. Okay, I wasn't sure what I was doing for a second. But I'm so excited about this Zoom because it is going to be covering all of social media tips and tricks and just things that are going to be beneficial for your business. So some of this could be a refresher. Some of this may be brand spanking new. Some of this is going to be amazing tips that you can take and implement into your business. And I think the biggest thing is not everything is going to work for you, but little bits and pieces of different things can work for you. Okay. And so how I may run my social media may be different than how Sarah and Amanda, they're going to share a little bit of tips here in just a little bit, but I just wanted you guys to know that. So I'm going to introduce myself really quickly. So my name is Erin Tweed. For those of you that don't know me, I have been doing this business for 7 years. I got started when we were kind of kicking off into social media. Okay. So my social media was really ugly 7 years ago. It was awful, like awful. I wish I could go into my little time hop thing and pull those up for y'all. But the thing is, you don't have to be a social media expert. I've just learned and grown in the process doing this. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I was a nurse, had never run any kind of social media, different things like that, but I love sharing things. And so that's one thing that I want you guys to remember, that this business is about sharing. Who can you serve? Who can you talk to? Who can you affect by sharing your story or sharing about your products? And so I think at the end of the day, that's always something to keep in mind when it comes to anything that you're posting about on social media. So again, been doing this for 7 years. I've shared a lot of life, a lot of things that have happened. And I think that that's really what has grown my social media and grown my business and grown in different things other than just my business and social media, but it's helped, relate and collaborate with different people. And so I think that that's the beautiful thing about this is you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know all the things, but take this in and figure out, okay, what things can I implement? What things can work for me? So I'm going to share a couple tips real quickly, and then I will have Sarah share, and then we're going to kind of go through a few of the different platforms that you guys should be using. If you're not, I know some of these things are scary. Okay. I know some of these things you're going to be like, I look like a fool. I don't want to post them. I don't want to do this, but I promise you something magical happens. And so I did this challenge probably about before we even had live videos, before we had reels, like it was probably within the first year of my business. Like I think I had just went diamond. I went diamond in 4 months. And I remember Alyssa had us do a video challenge. Okay. So we had to record a video and post it because that's all we could do on Facebook, 7.5 years ago. And I posted and I had to share my story, and y'all, it was like the worst thing ever. I didn't watch it. Even to this day, if I watch a video, I never watch it again. I just don't want to hear my voice. I'm that person. Like, even if I hear my husband, he always watches things over. I'm like, babe, go to the other room. I don't want to hear myself. Like, you got to get away. But here's the thing, like something happens, you get a little bit more confident. You've got something under your belt. And so if you haven't done a video or a live video, I'm going to challenge you to do that. Okay. There's still time in November. Something happens when you just do it one time. It's just like getting your first distributor, getting your first customer. All of a sudden you get a little bit more confident, right? And just like even stuff that we talk about to our kids, first day of school, brand new school, you're walking in the doors. You've got to just take that step, get in the door. And then the next day, it's a little bit easier to walk in the door, right? Because it's a little bit more familiar. And so it is a work in progress. This is going to be a process over time. But I would just encourage you to, step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. There's going to be a lot of different promotions and things that are coming up. And so you don't want to miss out. You want to make sure that you're utilizing the different things that you can be using. And so some things that I want you to keep in mind, regardless of what platform you are posting on, okay, is I want you to stay true to who you are, okay? Be you. So I'm going to talk about using like you may go to my TikTok or my Instagram and you may get an idea and you may copy similar things of what I do, but I still want you to put your spin on it. That my story is not your story. And that's the beautiful thing of how God made this business and how God made life. Like, our stories are each unique and we each need to tell our story to impact different people. And so I want you to know that your story matters. So make sure that you're being yourself. What things do you want people to know? And it doesn't have to be all the business and it works. Okay. That is not going to be the purpose of your social media. If you're doing that, please stop. You will not have success with this. Okay. Because you're going to turn people away. This business should be a pillar in your social media influence. Okay. So think about those things. Typically I would suggest going over 5 different pillars. What are 5 things that you want people to know about when they come to your page? What are 5 things? So for me, it's, faith, family, fitness, food, fashion, kind of all the F's that are F words that I can think about that are non-appropriate, right? One second. Mute everybody. Okay, I think we're good. But those are the things. So keep those 5 pillars in mind. Those are going to be the things that are going to give you guidance as far as, okay, if you're wondering like, what do I post? Think about your 5 pillars. Have you gone through all 5 pillars in the day? Have you shared those kind of things on your story that pertain to those 5 pillars? Because again, when people come to your page, yes, they're going to know about part of my business, but then they're going to know about 4 other aspects of my life. They're going to know I love Skinny Coffee, but they're also going to know I love my family. They're going to know I use the slimming gummies, but they're also going to see that I live a healthy lifestyle and I love to exercise. Those are the things. So I'm sharing that each and every day because I want people to know me. My audience is going to be different than your audience. And so I want you to think about this too. When you're posting, make sure that it's something that people can relate to. Don't think about posting for the masses. I want you to think about that one person that's just on your heart, that in your mind, if you're like, okay, I need to make this post for that one person. Who is that mom that's a nurse that's struggling and they're tired of missing moments with their baby. They're tired of working, 50, 60 hours a week and still struggling to make ends meet. Who is that mom that just wants to, be present at bath time and not be rushing in the door because they've got to make dinner and they've got to try and get their workout? Like that was me. And so if I'm talking about those little things, I'm talking to that one person. I'm probably going to have different people that will obviously relate to it, but I want to go, I don't want to say go after, that probably sounds horrible, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying. Like I want to direct my posts to that one person because you're not going out there for mass enrollment and trying to get all these people. You're trying to relate to people that can relate to you. So that way you can partner in the business, partner in life with the products, whatever it is, and then run with that. And so it's going to be that aspect of it. So be you. Use those 5 pillars as your guide, how people are going to know about you, how to share your story. So one of the things when it comes to this business, and I got this 5-story slide from Kelsey Offerman, and I have just loved it ever since. So I'm going to pull it up in my notes. But if you're thinking, okay, how do I share my story? And again, you can take this and put this into slides, but then you can take this and write this into a post. So this is going to be the guide. And once I have Sarah come on, I will put this in the chat too. Sorry, my phone went into bedtime mode. Real quick. But it's going to be talking about, oh, see, no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Hold on. Share story. I will find it in just one second. I don't know. Oh, my current account. When Apple updates all the things, sometimes it's hard to find. Okay, I will find this, but it's talking about sharing your story on 5 different slides. And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to talk about what was life like before joining It Works. Okay, what was life like before joining It Works? Okay, here we go. Or no, yeah, where was I in life when this found me? So the same thing. The second slide and how you can share your story is going to be, what was my goal when I decided to say yes, or when I was joining? What was my goal? So was it to make $500 extra a month to help cover, the cost of childcare? That's what my story was. We were just struggling and honestly pulling from savings to try and make ends meet, and wanted to do the extras, but then it just felt like you just couldn't catch up. It was constantly in that hamster wheel. And so those are the things that I'm going to be talking about. Like this is what life was like before. My goal was just to make a little bit, to take that pressure off of my shoulders, make that $500 extra a month so I could breathe easier, because daycare is expensive. Now, the third slide is going to be because of it works. So what's something that, even if you're brand new, what is something that's happened because you said yes? And so that can be, maybe you did make the $500, or maybe you've made a new friend, or maybe it's pushed you out of your comfort zone. Maybe you've realized some other dreams and goals and aspirations that you want to go after. Maybe, you're on your own health journey. Maybe you're, able to connect with different people that you've kind of lost touch with because you started posting and doing different things. So what is that because of it works? How has it changed your life? That kind of thing. The fourth slide is going to be your mission now. So what are you on a mission to do with this? So is it the products, or, my mission is, to help teach and coach other women to do the same thing, to help them realize that they have potential, help them realize that they can work this into their busy schedule. You can be a busy mom and have a busy career and still have success in this. And so that might be your mission, whatever it may be. And then the fifth slide is going to be a call to action to those that are interested. So you always want to give them a call to action, whether it's a poll, whether it's saying, message me with the word, more info, biz. I mean, you guys can do whatever it is, but give them something. Don't just put up the slides with your story. That doesn't tell them what to do if they are interested. And so half the time, people may not comment on a post. They may read through all of that, but if you give them a direct word, if you say more, okay, then all they have to do, they might be scared enough to reach out, but all they have to do is text you more. And then it's like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't have to tell my story. They can tell me the info. I'm going to figure it out. But it's just simply starting that conversation. So give them a call to action. And again, this would be like creating story slides, but you can go and take that. And if you're saying, hey, okay, I need to create some story content today. I'm feeling like I need to write a post. Again, you can use this again. Where was I in life before I found this business? What was my goal when I wanted to join? Because of it works, I've done this. What's my mission now? And how can people reach out? So again, that's kind of the feed of how your post can go. And then again, I talked a little bit earlier about just the emotion. You want to make sure. So there's a really great book called, it's on my Audible, but I just read another one called Stories That Stick, but I would recommend this one first. If you're looking for an Audible to listen to, it is called, I know I'm going to mess it up if I say it. It's a guy. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. So a lot of times he talks, he's worked with big corporations and different things in just how do they, tweak their business and how can they appeal to new customers or team members, that kind of thing. But he really gets into the emotion piece and just how, like, the feeling behind it, because people are going to be drawn to you because of how they felt based on a post. If you just go and copy and paste a post and just say, obviously, like, some of them are intriguing and they're going to get some interest, but if you're starting to talk about results and how did that make that person feel, are they more comfortable in their skin? Like, oh my gosh, they got to wear this pair of jeans that's been in the back of their closet for years and it just made them feel so amazing. And, talking about the feeling that is attached to that is going to be huge. Because that's really what people are going to be looking for and relating to. So I'm done for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sarah real quickly, and then I'll come back at the end and share a few more tips. Sarah, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself and then share your tip that you wanted to address.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me take myself off of this.
Okay. I'm Sarah. So I have been in the business now for 15 months. And when I started, I actually joined the business because I lost my job due to COVID. So I was pregnant with my son. I had an almost 2-year-old, and I just always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I just didn't ever think it was in the cards for me. But I was following my mentor, Alyssa, on Instagram for months, and I saw her staying home with her son and just being able to like work from wherever she wanted on her phone. And I was just like, you know what, she can do it. I can do it. And I just jumped in. Now, the things that I wanted to touch on is posting and stories. Now, I want you all to know I didn't even have a Facebook account when I joined the business. So my posting, like how Erin said, like when she first started her posting was probably like whack. Like you can only imagine mine. I was not used to posting at all. But one thing that I loved about this business right away was it's okay to find someone who inspires you and kind of shadow them, but being yourself. So that's what I did. I found a couple girls that like I really felt we kind of had a connection if they were another mom or, you know, whatever the case was. And I kind of like followed their lead, but I made it my own. So a lot of my posting, I do not just post about It Works. I don't just post about the products. I don't just post about the business opportunity. I post a lot about my personal life, what I'm doing every day. I'm with my kids, because that's a big thing for my business, right? That's why I joined. I wanted to be with my kids. So I make sure I share that every single day, especially in my stories, but I'm always also posting to my wall at least once a day. And then in regards to posting on my wall, I always try to think about like popular topics based on like whatever season we're in or whatever holiday we're around, because what you'll learn is your followers, like no matter, it doesn't even have to be on social media, but like everyone in this world loves to share their opinions. And I always try and post about things that I think people are going to want to talk about. So for giveaways, like around trick or treat, I was saying, you know, for my giveaway post, I was saying, do you like chocolate or candy corn? Because that's a big disagreement. You either really love candy corn or you don't. But I, you know, it brings people to you because that's a popular topic right now. And that had nothing to do with, you know, products or anything like that, right? Another thing is I post a lot about things that I think are funny. So like mom means, right? I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So a lot of my following is geared towards other moms. That's who I try and engage with because they're going to relate to me. So I make sure I post things about that story on my wall, like all of those things. Because I want them to relate to me, because if they relate to me, they're going to feel connected to me, even if they don't personally know me. They could be from another state, but if we have a lot of things in common, they're going to be a lot more willing to interact with me and connect with me. And eventually they'll be able to host a post for me, or they'll be interested in the product or the business opportunity. And they're going to feel like they know me. So it's not going to be like an awkward reach out, if that makes sense. And then a couple other things that I wanted to touch on. When people comment on your posts, I know it may seem excessive, especially if they're just like, happy anniversary, and you want to just say thank you to everybody. But I make it a point to respond to everyone. I like everyone's comment and I respond to everyone individually, because it's really going to make them feel like, oh, like she really did appreciate like my comment, and which I would, of course, but it just gets that connection already brewing. And especially if they're already on your page and then you interact with them, they're going to want to keep interacting with you as well. So I know it could be as simple as copying and pasting thank you to everybody, but I think that's it's so simple, but sometimes it can be overlooked of how large of an impact that can be. And then same thing, kind of how I was saying, interacting, like post on my wall. I do the same thing in my stories. So I put polls a lot in my stories, and it doesn't have anything to do with products again or the distributor opportunity, but things that I'm doing in like my daily life. So like, for example, my kids were watching like this Christmas show this morning, and I know right now people are either decorating for Christmas or they're like, no, like pump the brakes, not yet. So my kids were watching a Christmas show, and I made a poll about it. I'm like, is this okay or is this not okay? Because people are going to engage and they're going to, again, feel connected with me in some sort of way. And also be a product of the product. I make sure consistently every single day that I am showing myself drinking my coffee, taking my gummies, or whatever product that I'm using that day. I think it's so important to show yourself using it, because people are going to trust you when you're going to tell them how it tastes. You're going to tell them how it makes you feel. You're going to be able to have your own results to share with people rather than you just promoting something. And again, they're going to feel a lot more confident and comfortable coming to you, seeing that, okay, she's not just selling this or putting it out there, like she's actually using it. She's having results. So be a product of the product. Even if you don't have product yet, like if you're new, use story slides. Like they are everywhere for us, even on Pinterest. Like if you don't have a certain account that you follow, you could go on Pinterest and you can find literally any product that we have. And that's a way to put the product in your story without you even having any on hand. But as long as you're consistent with it, people are going to see you're dedicated and you're passionate. And that's where that whole trust thing comes in. And that's, I think, a huge part of it. So, but yeah, that's about all I had, Erin.
I love it. Okay, hold on. It's going to take me a minute. The screen is not pulling up, but I need to remove the spotlight. There we go. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to kind of just point out and touch back on that she had said, but it is so important to just, be yourself, create that engagement. The engagement is huge. And so even if you go and like literally search Facebook tips, tips for whatever, like one of the top things is going to be posting on your stories, going live, and then engagement is going to be huge. And so creating content or using pictures that are relatable. So anything that's along those lines, that's going to be the thing. I remember last year for my birthday, Kyle got me a consultation for LASIK, and I had never had my eyes dilated before. And so it just it was my birthday and everybody was wishing me happy birthday. And it took me a couple of days to get back because I felt so sick after getting that. And I was like, this seems so rude because I want to tell everybody thank you. But I was on the struggle bus for a couple of days. So, even if it's a couple of days after, you can still go back through the comments and interact. So even on my giveaways, I will go through and comment on, like 15 to 20 people. And even if it's just like commenting back with an emoji, like acknowledging that they have, that they've engaged in my post or something like that. Just giving that, but it also helps boost it. And then, I might wait a couple hours the next day and go and comment on different ones. But again, that's going to be engaging and then it's going to be boosting my post back up. So, you don't feel like, I think the thing is we're in such a fast paced world that we feel like we have to engage instantly or respond instantly, but nothing in this is going to be instant and overnight, right? And so use it to your advantage where you can still do the engagement, still do the things, but, spread it out a little bit. That way you can send out some messages here, engage over here, but then give it a little bit of time, and that's going to help boost your algorithm as well. And then again, be a product of the product, share yourself using the products as much as you can. People are nosy. Okay. If you haven't noticed, like she said, people want to comment their opinion on everything. They want to tell you how to do things. They want to tell you life story. Like we all want to do that. We're going to be like, I love voting on polls and people are like, should I keep this or not? I'm like, oh, I'm doing this one. Like, I love it. But people want to do those kind of things, if it's engagement on any type of thing, or if you're asking a question. So I just asked a question tonight. I said, what are you getting your kid for Christmas and how old are they? Because for me as a mom, it might also give me ideas, but different things. I want to create the engagement because I am interested in some of the things. I'm like, I've never even heard of that, but it's just those things. And again, people are commenting. They want you to know what's going on. So I love, love, love that. All right, Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you real quick.
Yay. Hi, you guys. My name is Amanda. I have been in the business for about 4 years. And when I found the business, I was super busy. A mom of 2 kids, working 2 jobs, a full-time registered nurse in my kids' school, as well as a registered nurse in the emergency department. And I thought, I went to college. I had a real degree. This business was not for someone like me. I was making good money. So I thought, but then I joined and I caught the vision of life was about so much more, that you didn't have to spend all of your time at work to make the money to have the things that I wanted to have. And so I caught the vision. Took me a while, but I eventually caught the vision that this business could be the vehicle to a life of your dreams. It could be the vehicle to fund the future that you could only imagine. And you're going to be working at your job until you're 60 or 65, right? So I have 30 more years in my job. So why not show up for a business for yourself for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, when you could potentially change your entire life? And so I realized that if I could just show up in any capacity every single day for the next 5 years, I gave myself 5 years that I could change my entire life. And that's exactly what the business can do for you. And so my tips really are everything that they said is exactly what you want to do. The one thing I want to say really quick is about being a product of the product. If you don't have a tons of products right now, go and get yourself something. So when you make your first $50 paycheck, go and buy yourself a cleanse. It takes 2 days to do a cleanse. Go get a cleanse, take a before picture, do your cleanse, eat super clean, drink lots of water, and then take your after picture on the 3rd day, right? Buy yourself a pack of wraps. Use all 3 of them. Wrap in the beginning, wrap at the end. I have a lot of hair, but I still bought hair, skin, and nails for $39 and did a 30-day challenge. You guys, you want yourself in those before and after pictures because it's so much easier to seal the deal with people when you can say, look, here's my before and after. I promise if you buy this product and you work with me, I can get you the results that you want. So it's not about, using the coffee every day. It's just getting your hands on something and taking a before and after for 30 days, no matter what that is. And then finding a product that you can get behind. So being a product of the product is huge. And even if you're new, you can find something that you can use. So I absolutely love that she said that. Now with posting, I'm not going to go to posting in stories because that's what we've talked about, but just know you have to do it. You have got to show up on your social media every single day in whatever capacity that looks like. It might look like your hair in a top knot in your pajamas, but that's what people want to see. They want to see what it really is. And it might look like me not getting on till 9 p.m. because I do work a full-time job and I do have 2 kids and I did just get home from football. But people want to know that they can do this business in that capacity, that they don't have to be a stay-at-home mom, that they don't have to look perfect every single day. So the way that you show up speaks volumes to the people that are following you. So don't think you have to be perfect. Don't think you have to have makeup on. And like Erin said, the confidence, you don't wait for the confidence to come, you guys. You show up and then the confidence comes. I think it is, don't wait until you're confident. Show up until you're confident. Because if you just sit there and wait, baby, you're not going to get confident. You got to continue to show up. And I still get nervous when I go live. I still get nervous when I get on the phone. I still get nervous when I get on Zooms, but you just show up and something happens to you as you get on the phone call and as you get on the live and as you get on the Zoom and your confidence grows. And so just put the post up, just hop on your stories. Another thing that I like to do is when I do use pre-made stories because I do work and I am full-time, but I like to hop on. And even if you hop on and you record yourself and you said, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited about this sale that I have for November. Go ahead and check out these slides and vote at the story on the end. Like just put yourself in there somehow. So you don't have to have the coffee. You don't have to have all these products. You can use the pre-made slides, but find a way to put yourself in the story before you use those pre-made slides. So I might get an empty coffee mug, you guys. It ain't even got to have coffee in it. But I'm going to boomerang that coffee mug and I'm going to put a poll on it that says, do you want to do the swap? Yes or heck yes. They don't know what's in the coffee mug. So I have my pre-made stories and then I do a boomerang of an empty coffee mug with me in it. And now it pulls it all back full circle. You want to be on your stories every single day, no matter what that looks like. And it doesn't have to always be perfect and it doesn't have to always be you talking, but just get yourself on your stories and do it every single day. Also post to your wall every single day. So I like to remind my team that we don't post for likes and comments. Don't post for likes and comments. It doesn't matter if you get 100 likes or 5 likes. People are watching. So don't put a post up for the likes and the comments. Put a post up so that people know you're still there. Put a post up so that people know you're still consistent. Put a post up so that your team knows you're still there. Put a post up so that your audience can watch you, because just because they're not liking it and just because they're not commenting doesn't mean they're not watching. And do it for yourself. Do it because people know, because they're coming to see if you're still there, because they're expecting you to what? Quit. They're expecting you to what? Fail. They're expecting you to fall off the wagon like most people do in network marketing. So the fact that you're just showing up is a win. And remind yourself that tasks to work your business are mechanical. So I talk about mechanical and emotional tasks a lot. And the tip that I have is these tasks are mechanical. Sending messages is a mechanical task. You just do it. Set a timer and just do it. Adding to your network is a mechanical task. Set a timer and just do it. At the end of the day, ask yourself, did I post? Yes or no? Did I send my messages? Yes or no? I don't care who answers them. I don't care who reads them. I don't care who likes my stuff or who comments on my stuff. I can only control my attitude and my work ethic. I can only control my attitude and my work ethic. I can't control who answers my messages. I can't control what Karen gets mad. I can't control who likes my TikTok or who likes my post or who thinks this or that about my stuff. I can only control if I get the content out. You've got to get it out. And you've got to give yourself time to grow in the business. Not one day, not 1 week, not 1 month. You need to be thinking 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Life is going to happen. You are going to have bad days. And if you work a job, baby, you're going to be in that job for the next 30 years. So why not give yourself 5 years with a business that could potentially change your life? But you can't start counting time in the business until you show up every day. So if you're only showing up on Mondays and Wednesdays, then I don't consider you working the business. When are you going to show up for a year and then say you work the business? So your stories are full. You have posts on your wall. And the one I want to talk about is interacting. So interacting is huge because that's how your name gets shown on other people's walls. So every single day I'm sending birthday messages. And every single day I'm setting timers and I'm interacting on non-It Works posts on both Facebook and Instagram. So I go by timers. Some people just interact. I literally set a 10-minute timer and I scroll down my Facebook wall and every single post I see gets an engagement. So every single post gets a love and a comment of some sort. If I can't comment on it because it's like a share, I still love it. And then I keep scrolling. But for 10 solid minutes, at least once a day, on my best day, 2 or 3 times a day, I am interacting with other people's posts. Then when I go put up a right hook post that says, who wants to chew gummies and lose weight? Or when I put up a giveaway post, I have new people commenting on that post because I'm spending so much time interacting. So when I'm getting people that aren't reading my messages or when I'm putting up posts of my family, so I expect when I put up like an It Works post, it might not get many likes or comments. But when I put up my kids, I expect it to get a little bit of love, right? And when it doesn't, I know that my engagement and my interaction is down. And so if you notice that your messages aren't getting a lot of answers, or if your giveaway posts aren't getting a lot of comments, or if your non-It Works posts aren't getting a lot of engagement, you really need to spend intentional time interacting. I recommend setting a timer because sometimes you can get stuck in that scroll hole. And if you're not recording the work that you're doing in your mind, you think you're doing a lot of work. But I would beg to differ. It takes intentional action. So setting the timer, writing down how many host to posts you get, writing down how many messages you send. I know exactly that it takes me about 30 messages to get about 3 yeses. So my average is 1 in 10. For every 10 messages I send, I get about 1 response. But I know that because I've recorded it. I know that because I've done intentional work on the actions that we're supposed to do every single day. So if your interaction is down, if your messages are getting not as enough answers, then you need to go and spend some intentional time interacting. I do a 10-minute timer down my wall. I send birthday messages to everybody on their birthday. I send positive vibe messages to people I've never spoken to. And then I also interact newest friends first. And so I interact with those new people that are coming. Another thing that we know that we're supposed to be doing is adding, but make sure that you're intentionally adding. So sometimes I go outside of my host to post because I do host to post. I still am a firm believer that host to post is where it's at. And so I do host to post every single day, but I also add organically outside of host to post. So I go to people that I've asked to do the business before that are not interested, but have really good social medias, and I add their friends. I go to pregnancy posts because they have like 100 comments, and I add the people from the pregnancy posts because they're on Facebook, they're interacting with people. And so I intentionally add people that have good pages that are already on Facebook doing that engagement. So I already know that they use their social media. So I'm very, very intentional with adding and interacting. And then just like they said, it's so important to post and be full in your stories. And last thing I want to say is be you. People don't want to be sold to. They want to feel something, and they want to know that you're a real person who truly has their best interest. So have conversations with people. And the best way is to be a product of the product, because you can show them that you've used the product and that you love product. And then when you're thinking about your audience, you want to educate, entertain, and inspire. And you can do that through a product post. You can do that through a business post, but you want to do that every single day with your audience. You want to educate them. So what does that look like? Maybe like Erin, she works out. I don't. Erin could offer so much value to people who are trying to work out. And that has nothing to do with the business. That's education. So I'm a nurse. I could talk about water or health. And so how can you educate the people that you're following? You now have a vehicle. So don't just think about it like it works. You now have a platform that people are watching you. People are looking for you. So what do you love? Do you support postpartum depression? Do you support depression? Do you have a book? Do you support domestic violence? Do you care for kids in Africa? You now have a vehicle that people follow you and people love you. You now can impact the world. And It Works is just a part of that. It Works is just a piece of who you are. So put it in there with you, but also think about this bigger picture. Think about the person you want to become. Think about the people you want to impact, and have that all in your social media. And then people are never going to be bored coming to your page. People are never going to think that you're only going to sell them on It Works, because you are a person, and It Works is a part of who you are. And so remember to educate, entertain, and inspire. And they're always going to even want to read your It Works post because you follow those things and you educate, inspire, and entertain even in your It Works post. And so literally, you guys, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep showing up, even when it feels like it's not working. The moment you quit was the moment you were about to have your breakthrough. Add, interact, post, keep your stories full, and send out the messages without thinking about what they're going to say, what they're going to think, who's going to do what, who's going to be there. Because at the end of the day, you can only control your attitude and your work ethic. So be happy, smile, who cares what people think, show up every single day for yourself and for your family. And if you can show up at your job for the last 10 years or the next 10 years, why can't you show up for yourself and your family for the next 5 years for your business? Just keep showing up. And I promise you will see the benefit if you don't quit. Never, ever quit.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Sophie. I literally didn't hit enter and I had the thing typed. So I'm glad that you put it in there. I was like, oh, my text is just sitting there. Okay. A few things I want to hit on that Amanda said, and then we're going to wrap this up with reels real quickly. So make sure like that you're catering to your audience. So I may post at one certain time of the day, but if you know you're going to have a lot more interaction, middle of the day, mid-morning, in the evening, like do that. Okay. I am not a night person. For me to do this Zoom past 9 p.m., like my husband's like, do you need anything? I was like, my brain is like mush. So I was like writing notes and all the things, because I'm much more of an early morning person. So I like to post. That's when I have my most energy. That's when I'm doing the things. Those are the times that I'm going to feel more inspired to create content, not necessarily right now. Right now, it's going to be those aimless or those like thoughtless activities where it's like interacting, adding to my network, that kind of stuff. So make sure that you're catering those things to you, but also catering your post to your audience. So if you put something up and maybe you're not getting the engagement that you normally would, like some questions, take it down and try it again in a couple hours. It just might not be the right time. Okay. We all have a different algorithm. I cannot tell you the perfect time. I don't know the magic sauce, because by the time that you figure it out, it will change. Okay. That's one thing that I've known about Facebook, Instagram, and all the things is like the minute that you get the algorithm figured out, they switch it. And so just post when you feel like it's on your heart and you feel like you're catering to that. Share your stories often. We talked about that. Now, the last thing that I want to make sure that we touch on is TikTok Reels and Facebook Reels. Okay. So I am restricted. I'm really upset because of trying to post the host to post from last October. I got restricted from Reels. So my Reels got disappeared on Facebook. I don't know why. They just don't like me. They said I'm restricted right now. So, or else I would be posting them. Okay. So please do not go to my page for an example. I don't have it. They're gone. But I want you to make sure that you're utilizing TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, all the things. So few tips that have worked for me in the past as far as TikTok. Obviously, it's going to be putting you out of your comfort zone. And at first, you might be like, I have 5 views. Okay. That's literally what most people do. Like, it takes a minute to kind of go viral or whatever they say. But one thing that Amy Spence told me, last October when she was having a lot of success with TikTok, is she's like, you have to be consistent on it, right? Which is what we say with every single thing. She's like, challenge yourself to do 2 to 3 TikToks a day for 30 days. And so I said, okay. And I know some of you guys are like, that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of content. I'm not that creative. No, I like today, I didn't get makeup or anything on. Like, I went and got a spray tan. I'm just chilling in my clothes. And I felt like, okay, I can create some content. So I stockpiled a couple drafts and different things. So those are all in the stockpile of my videos. Here's the thing. I started doing that last October and I posted consistently and I did all things. And one day I got to a point where I was like, oh, I just need a filler video. Like, I just need to get my 3rd video up because, like she said, to do 3 a day. And so I post this video of my son running down our driveway with a trash can and it freaking gets 3 million views. So how I cannot explain it. But something happens with just the consistency, and it's going to be something that you are like, whatever. Like, so maybe it's, you throw up a video like that you just have in your story, your videos folder on your phone, and it's just a content thing. Do it. Okay. Just be consistent, challenge yourself to do 2 to 3 TikToks a day. I'm not saying Instagram doesn't work that same way. You can definitely post 1 a day, or you can post on your wall, your feed, and then post on your reels. You can kind of go back and forth between that. And then anything that I'm posting from TikTok to reels, and I know some people will say that this isn't effective. It's never been non-effective for me. Is I'll go to TikTok, I create my video, that video is saved in my folder. I go and I upload it to Instagram Reels, and I go and upload it to Facebook Reels. Okay. I don't have a ton of time to sit there and create different videos on different platforms. So I'd rather just get the content up. Right. And it's crazy because sometimes it's like one will do better on Instagram versus on TikTok. There's nothing wrong. It's just something about the algorithm and posting again. So the biggest thing with that is utilize that tool, because that is what's getting the most hype on these platforms right now. Okay. TikTok, Instagram Reels, that video feature. And so some of it might be silly. It might be different voiceovers. It might be you figuring out how to point your fingers or do different dances. Like right now, I'm like, I've had fun like learning some of the dances, and I just post like my life story of like the business and what it's done for me as I'm doing like the funny dance. And that's getting a lot of interaction. So it can be whatever for you. And again, it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And you're going to be like, oh my God. And you might get some haters. I posted this video talking about 80s babies because I'm a 1988 baby. And then some people said, oh my God, she's really old. And some people are like, you're not in it. Like, you're going to have hater video. Like it's part of it. Okay. People are just like that on there. So don't get offended by it. Don't let it stop you from doing it. It just is what it is. Okay. But the biggest thing with that is just be consistent, because those parts of these platforms are getting the most views. They are getting the most interaction. They're literally saying, hey, you post this, you're going to get all the viewers. Here you go. Like, your post is not going to get as much viewers as if you post it on Facebook Reels. The first day I realized that, this is prior to them taking it away from me, but I went back to my TikTok and I was like, okay, let me look at one that's like something about nursing. And so I posted one of my videos, and that day, like my story only had, my Facebook Reel only had like maybe 100 viewers at that time, but I had 5 messages from people that I was not in contact with, like didn't have any mutual friends or anything like that. It just was thrown in their feed. And so because I used a few hashtags. And so that's the thing, is all of these platforms are giving that the most hype. So utilize it for your business. And again, going back to this with the consistency, not every single day are you going to feel like jazzed about writing a post. Not every single day you're going to feel jazzed about making a video. That's the beautiful thing about notes and drafts. Okay. So on the days that you feel inspired and motivated and that, create your content. Create your videos, create your dances. Like if you go to my TikTok, there's literally 4 videos in a row with the same sweatshirt. That's because that day I felt good. I felt like doing it, but I was like, I stockpiled them up. So they're in my drafts. And then today I was like, oh, I got to switch up my shirt. Like I need to, like, people are going to think I literally wear the same outfit, multiple days in a row, but posted a different video. So utilize that, get some ideas from different people. So you might, you might go to my page or Amanda's and say, I think it's just Erin. Most of my names are just Erin_Tweed. But I think that's what they're pretty standard across the board, I think. But when you go to like Amanda's page or something like that, you might be like, oh my God, I love how she did that video. Utilize it as a guide, and go and make it your own. And so the thing is too, like you're going to hear some songs that you keep hearing over and over on those feeds. Those are ones that are going to be trendy. So a lot of times I tell people, I'm like, there's nothing magic. It's just utilizing. Oh, that's right. I'm on Kelsey's. Okay. It's Erin. That would make sense. Okay. Erin Tweed. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot I was on the Kelsey's name. So that would make sense. But those things, as you're posting and creating that different content, utilize those trendy sounds. If you hear it a couple times as you're scrolling, you can literally click the audio, it'll scroll through and click it, and you can add to your favorites. So you can go back and use it. And so kind of put your own spin on it, or, just different things. Like you can get really creative, and some of them literally you might be just creating very similar ideas to other people at first just to get comfortable, and that's fine. Okay. But again, you're going to start to create more content that you feel comfortable. You're going to keep being yourself. You're going to start sharing those things, and utilize that. So that's all we have for tonight. I know it was kind of jam-packed with a lot of different tips and different things. But at the end of the day, there's no magic thing to social media. The biggest thing that I can tell you over time, and people still say this, is just being consistent. I have literally posted something every single day for the last 7.5 years. I have literally shared something on my story for the last however many years since we got stories. I've literally talked about the business or the products every single day for the last 7.5 years. Some days do I post more than others? Yes. But I am always talking and having conversations. I'm always adding to my network. I'm always interacting. And so those are the things. The consistency over time is what's going to bring you the results. It's not just, oh, I made a really great post, because here's the thing. I've made a lot of really great posts that get 0 likes. I have. Okay. That I'm like, oh my God, I spent so much time writing this post, and like, I'm not great with words, and I wrote this. But then it'll be something else random. But people are looking for that consistency. They're going to my page to see that I'm still showing up, that they're still seeing different things. And so be yourself, stay committed to the process, stay consistent with the videos and the stories and different things. And again, I know it's going to be uncomfortable. I know it. Like, it's still uncomfortable for me. I'm just like, oh my God, it's awkward. Like, I realize every single dancing video that I do, I close my eyes. Okay. So if you go to my page, if you see me doing a dance, my eyes are probably close. Like, I don't know. I have to think in my head of a next dance move. And the only way that happens is my eyes closed, but I'm still doing it. I'm still getting the interaction. And so I just want to challenge you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, whatever that looks like for you, because we're all at different points in our social media journeys, and in our business, but step out of your comfort zone a little bit. What is something that you can do tomorrow that you haven't done before? What is one little thing that you can make a change? What is one little thing that you can do differently? What's one thing that you can share that people may not know about you? Or what's one thing that you can teach people, educate them on something that you know will bring value, but maybe you're nervous to share? Now is your time to do that. I promise you it will pay off. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, go ahead.
There's an app. It's called Snaptik. Snaptik. So I do all of my TikToks through TikTok. And then you literally, like right after you do your TikTok, you can put copy link. And when you open that Snaptik app, your video pops up. All you have to click is download, and it literally takes off the TikTok watermark. And then I upload it to Reels, and I upload it to Facebook. And if you're on TikTok, I spend 5 minutes a day and I scroll TikTok. And if you see a video that you want to remake, I double tap it so you can heart it. And then when you're on your main TikTok screen, the second one over is your hearted videos. And so all the videos that you've hearted are there. And so when I feel good, I go through and I'm like, okay, let's make this video right now. You hit the bottom, you hit use sound, and then you make the video. So all those videos that you hearted saved to a collection. It's like at the very top of your TikTok, there's like one is yours and one is the one you hearted. And it has all those videos that you liked. And so when I'm ready to make TikToks, because I'm ready or whatever, I go to the place that I hearted those and I just click the first one and then I go make it. And then I go back, I click the second one and then I go make it. So if you open your TikTok, you'll see where, not on your page, but right next to it is where you can heart your videos. And it has all those videos that you shared. And in the beginning, I didn't even get fancy. I literally copied exactly what everybody else was doing. And I did one TikTok a day. That's not very, it's not good for TikTok. I think TikTok really has to be 2 to 3 a day is what people were saying. But I was like, okay, I'll at least do one. But for Instagram Reels, that does work. But I really think for TikTok, it has to be 2 to 3 videos every single day for a period of time. Because I haven't seen much growth with one. So if you're going to hop on the TikTok, I think that you start with 2 or 3. But again, it can be you listening to a motivational video making your coffee. It can be you saying coffee, who doesn't like coffee, or like those funny ones, and then throw in, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just get up 2 a day and really watch it explode. And like Erin said, why not? People are winning so big. So why not you? Just do it. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I know it's late for some of you, so go get some rest. I know it's late for me, but I just appreciate you. And I know that I got some really helpful tips. And so I hope you did too. Make sure if you learn something or maybe you make a funny TikTok or reel, go tag us. I want to see it. Like, go tag us in the comments. That way we can check them out. Maybe we're going to learn something or get ideas from each other. But those are the awesome things. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I will get this recording up and I hope everybody has a great night and we will see y'all later. Bye everyone.